In 2017, I was traveling on this road in a village called Anjanvel. I saw an old ship pulled up the shore. It was beautiful, but what got my attention was a huge vintage lock hanging on the cabin door. At that moment, I thought there could be some story behind the ship. 2 years later, when I traveled back to my native place, I decided to find out. My cousins Kunal and Rohan agreed to take me back to Anjanvel, which is located across the creek. The ship was in the custody of the Kilekar brothers, who are well known in the village for their carpentry work. We headed straight to their workshop. Since there was no one there, my cousin gave one of the brothers a call. Unfortunately, they were out of town, so we had to head back empty-handed. After casually searching on the internet, I came across an article published by the Indian Express. Surprisingly, they had covered a story on the same ship. The ship was owned by an American expat named Neil Bruder, who worked at the Enron Power Project. He purchased the ship in 1995 from its previous owners and gave it to the Kilekars for a special restoration. The ship was called Manpawan, and it dated way back to 1861. Incidentally, the Kilekars' great-grandfather was part of the team of carpenters that built Manpawan in that year. Mr. Bruder partly customized the ship as per his design. He got 5 bedrooms made in the ship for himself and the crew that he planned to hire. He wanted to sail the ship to his hometown in America, and for that, he even got his captain's license. It was a long wait from Mr. Bruder, but his dream to sail the beautiful ship to his country was coming true. But something went wrong. Mr. Bruder never sailed, and why he could not is still not known. Years passed by, and in 2014, Mr. Bruder went back to America and never returned. If I hadn't noticed the lock that day, probably I would have never got to make this film. That lock was made in England in the year 1932, the same year when Mr. Bruder was born. Mr. Bruder had invested almost 2 decades in the ship. After seeing it in the state it was, I was deeply heartbroken. But it felt as if the ship was still waiting for its captain to come and sail it away.